4 family members who were shot and killed on New Year's Eve have been laid to rest in Mzumbe in KwaZulu-Natal. They were killed in a suspected home invasion, but surviving family members have questioned that claim. For the latest on this story, let's cross now live to our Silethiwe Ndlovu, who's at the funeral. Silethiwe, thanks so much for coming on. We were earlier on, of course, listening to the Premier, who is as shocked about the incident that took place there, but he also cites another incident that would have been reported in KwaZulu-Natal. What did the Premier have to say about these events and what his leadership is going to do about them?
Well, there's a number of questions really that still remain at this particular point. As you've rightfully indicated, though, the remaining or surviving family members do dispute that this was nearly a home invasion. Now, they are not the only ones that dispute that fact. The KZN Premier Thami Ntuli has also stated that he also does not believe that this was just a random home invasion. You remember it was stated that on New Year's Eve, there were 4 unknown suspects that kicked open the door to a rendezvous where they found a woman where she was resting with her fiancé. They would then demand money, and upon finding out that there is no money, they then shot at her fiancé and later on shot at the remaining family members that were inside the main house. I'm going to bring in now the KZN Premier to speak to us about his belief, but also about the investigations that are currently ongoing at this particular moment. Premier, thank you very much for your time. Of course, you are accompanied by the MEC, but thank you very much for your time. Just to start off, I want to talk about your concerns when you are looking at this particular incident.
Well, we are quite worried as the provincial government that such occurrences, they still continue in our society, wherein members of the society will kill one another. In particular here, you have women, younger women and then old women, and you don't understand why such behavior is still existing in our society. And we are worried because though this is crime, but we want to believe that the substance abuse, whether drug abuse or alcohol abuse, may be also a factor. Because the reason when you hear that they only ask for money, when they said there is no money, they kill them, to me, it shows that we still have a big problem of drug abuse and substance abuse.
A very violent crime, Premier, as you mentioned. Speak to us perhaps about what this says about violent crimes in the province of KZN.
Well, we have seen the murder cases decreasing in the province of KwaZulu-Natal, of which we commend the police and the community collaboration for that. However, we still have such incidents that we need to actually go deep in addressing the issue of moral generation and social cohesion, so that people are able to live in an environment that is tolerant, wherein they will be able to engage whenever there are differences. Unfortunately for this incident, we are not quite aware as to what was the rationale, but what is good is that this case is one of the priority crime cases wherein the province has taken over, is investigating, and we are hopeful that in the due course we'll get to know who are the perpetrators, as just not far from here, in an area called Kwashogo's area, 7 members of the family were killed. Police were able to investigate and were able to trace the perpetrators, and we're also hopeful that also here the same is going to happen.
And that's actually my next question, Premier. The 4 suspects are currently still at large. Speak to us about the importance of communities assisting police and engaging with police when you do find that there's incidents such as this one. Of course, you mentioned even during funeral proceedings that it's quite important for people not to shelter their loved ones when they've committed crimes.
We've made a call to the community that they have a very important role to expose whatever information that they have to the police. Even if they fear to show their faces when they report, they can call the number, 10111 number to report, so that they will assist the police with the information, because we are convinced that whenever an incident, such incident happens in the area, someone will have some information which might have led to the incident. Hence, we have made a call to the entire society, both traditional leaders, Izinduna, the religious leaders, and also the councillors, even the business and the safety structure, that they must stand together, they must expose this kind of behavior.
Also, Premier, during funeral proceedings, you mentioned that one of your biggest concerns is unlicensed firearms, where you find that when there's people that have been murdered, it's due to unlicensed firearms being used.
Exactly. My call was that people must report to the police. Whenever you know that you are living with someone or in a community there is someone who has an illegal firearm, they must report that before the firearm damages the life of an individual or of the society. It's important that we report those illegal firearms, because when they are there in the community, it means the community is still not safe. As for the ones that were used to assassinate this family, because they are not with the police as we speak, it means more lives are still in danger.
KZN Premier, thank you very much for your time. That's the KZN Premier there, accompanied by MEC Ntomuhle Khawula. Coming from that conversation, we understand, of course, that investigations, according to the KZN police, are currently ongoing. They have also confirmed that at this particular moment, unfortunately, there's no arrests that have been made. Family members, however, do state that they fear for their lives, as, of course, no one at this particular moment has been apprehended.